What's going on, YouTube? It's me, JP, the one to beat, here again with another budget deck. This is week two. I'm gonna do a do it for the rest for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'll probably stop and start doing more meta decks. I'm currently building at the moment, working on prophecies, Atlanteans, and a few other things. My Big Bird Chaos, I'm trying to work on. That's gonna be fun. But this week it's gonna be gadgets. A lot of people are running these guys. Some people are running the Gear Gear. I feel like the gadgets, to me, are more fun, less defensive, more explosive. Um, they just complete themselves. You know what I mean? Of course, Thunder King's your worst enemy with most decks like this, but the deck is really good. I played it on DN for about a week, and it seems to be really consistent. Keeps up with a lot of the meta decks out there. Even the mirror match, it's really good. Well played. But I'll get right into it. I play two of each gadget. I was watching the YCS Rhode Island, and Johnny Nagels comes to my locals once in a while. Usually he runs Dark World, so it was a surprise to see him playing gadgets. But he believes the same way I believe. I used to be a gadget player when I was down south. I feel like if you're playing Machina gadgets, that the 3 gear frame are your third set of gadgets. Which is, I mean, some people disagree. Some people like to run 3, but 2 is fine. Trust me. You never have to worry about having them dead in hand. And if you do, you just tribute them off with for your fortress anyway. 3 gadgets. I'm sorry, 3 gear frame. You guys all know what he does, searching out for Machina Cannon and for Machina Fortress. Speaking of which, 3 Fortress, boss monster of the deck. He's just so good. When he gets hit, you're just like, all right, that's fine, and then you just pop something on the side anyway. If he gets targeted, you get something out of their hand. The only time I don't like using him is when I play against Dark Worlds, because I mean, they target him with Grapha, you're forced to grab a card out of their hand. Worst come to worst, it's that snow. The snow lets him search for another card and get a card out of your grave. We'll get him, special summon him from the graveyard to their side. So it's like, ouch in a quarter. But with the rise of Gemini Imps and everything like that coming out, I don't see too many people having a problem. Especially about that, when it comes to Gemini Imps, they're expected to be really good or at least extremely decent in the next set because they're Atlanteans. So you might want to look into those. I unfortunately let somebody borrow my Machina Cannon, so I'm using Machina Force. I still treat him as if he's an 8-star, so it's still a good card. Once again, just a monster reborn for the Fortress. But this is a budget deck. Everything in it is usually really easy to get. If common, I mean, you might as well just pick them up. Another thing I saw people doing, and I really agree with now, is in this deck is running 2 Tragodia. Tragodia is so broken. Like, oh my god, this guy is retarded. On DN, someone smacked me with a BLS, smacked again for 3,000. I ate it, dropped Trag, went gear frame, traded off my Machina Cannon to take control of the BLS permanently. Now it was mine. Uses effect on something else. Call the Haunted into another gadget. Exceed Gear Gint. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was so much plus. Like, it was ridiculous. Extremely good card. I'm seeing this card to be a lot better now in this format as compared to Maxi and Veiler. I'm really loving Tragodia right now. And the last 2 cards, this is from Nagel's deck. I tried it with My Way. I tried running it with Card D's, before I decided to make it a budget deck. And I also tried Giant Rats. But Card Trooper is really helping when it comes to that T-King. Card Trooper smacks over T-King and gives you a card. Loads up the graveyard. I mean, most times you're playing 2 Call of the Haunted in this deck. 2 or 3. So milling your monsters really isn't a big deal, and they just refresh themselves anyway, so especially if it's a gadget. So it's always a good play. That's it for the monsters. Onto the spells. I'm playing triple MST. So you know what he does. It's a great card. 1 heavy. 2 Lance. I'm currently testing between Lance and Chalice right now, because I feel like since I'm not running Veiler, Chalice can help me out. Yeah, it'll let somebody get 400 attack, but if their effect was going to change the game, I'd rather them just kill my monster than go off and then continue with their strategy. But as of right now, it's looking pretty good with the gadgets. I play one Reborn, of course. You can only have one Dark Hole. Pot of Avarice. In gadgets, it's your favorite card. It just refills your entire engine. and pretty much it's like Fiber Jar for this deck. It's really stupid, so it's always a plus. And 2 Duality. Duality, of course, you know, with this deck, I mean, if you're going to summon a monster, search, and then reveal 3, set it back. I mean, it's too much plus in this deck. That's it for the spells. You guys are going to laugh at me, but I play 1 D Prison because I'm currently looking at Safe Zone in the deck, so I'm testing both out, seeing which one is more reliable and can help me in more situations. D Prison, of course, being more defensive in a sense of people attacking, but Safe Zone seems to be helping a lot as much. Well, just as much, if not more. So, once again, still in the process of making this. And this is all still budget, so it's easy to pick up, easy to get around to. I'm playing 2 Torrential. It helps you clear field. OTKs, you're not as afraid, unless they have the MST or something, or the Heavy Storm, which in that case, I mean, it's going to happen anyway, right? 1 Mirror Force. I see a lot of people running Starlight Roads now, and it's starting to hurt. Yeah, the same can be said about Torrential, but Torrential is during the summon. This is when they've already got the bag in the game. This at least you can try to stop them before they can get all their stuff out. But this one, this is on the field, I mean, there's not much you can do. 1 Ultimate Offering. Once again, gadgets. It's like drawing 6 Sam. It's like running Gateway in Sam's. I mean, if it goes off, that's usually game right then. You're just going to go through everything in your deck and end up with like a Shockmaster, Violon de Sigma, fucking a Roach, and I mean, it's just infinite stuff. It's pretty dumb. Because I play that final, excuse me, Ultimate Offering, I run 1 Solemn Warning because I feel like I'm going to be paying life points. Usually if I go off and for some odd reason they have the Trag in hand or something, or even if I would go Shockmaster and I found a way to prevent it and they still weren't going to be quite at 0 because it's a little bit late game, I want to be at least have some life points left to go ahead and try to use some of the, so I don't want to dedicate myself to the minimum of 6,000 life points being paid, so I try to go with that. 1 Solemn Judgment, you kind of can't play without that card. Some people are trying to say you don't need it to win, but it just stops so much stuff in this meta. You kind of need it. I mean, it's always live, so it's never too late. You know what I mean? It's not like Solemn Warning where it's 1 turn too late and then it's game over. For the most part, I play 2 Compulse. I'm loving this card. Exceeds are everywhere this format, and Synchros are starting to come back. It's going to be your new best friend. Stops everything. It gets around all those effects that were like, you know, if it would be destroyed. So, Compulse, of course, is a great card. I've been campaigning for that card since it released. Safe Zone, like I told you guys a few minutes ago. Been playing it. They valued at my locals for like 6, so I valued it as a budget. So, I mean, even at 2 or 3, which I'm thinking about going to, it might be a little excessive, but it stops your gadgets from dying so you can go into your Gear Gigan. If you're going to play that, or if you just need to be able to go to another Exceed. Like I said, this deck can be, if you have the money cards, you can put the money cards in here. It won't make any difference. All the money cards are in the extra deck anyway. So, it's pretty good. If you can get your hands on 1 Gear X, you're in good shape. So then you really don't need 2. 2 is fun and more consistent, but it leaves you that option to keep going, but you really don't need it actually. So, I play 2 Call the Haunted. Nagels was playing 3. 2 is fun. I feel like you don't need 3 because it ends up being a dead draw sometimes. Sometimes you'll draw all your traps and spells but no monsters. I understand that once you get your first monster off, it's all like game time from there, but if your first monster's a Gear Frame, you summon it, they bottomless, you kind of have to wait till you draw another monster. You can't Call the Haunted him anymore, so I feel like it's better with the gadgets, of course, so good card. And my last card, I play 1 Starlight Road. It's an abundance of traps, so why not run the 1 road? I mean, you can bluff the road as well, which is always fun. When you outplay your opponent, nothing feels better. You can lose, but as long as you outplayed your opponent, you don't feel as bad. You don't feel like you lost to your opponent. You just realize that their deck was just a little bit better. It's a tier 1, so it's always fun. Onto the extra deck. Oy. Of course, I got my 4 little tokens, of course. Always. Those are always there. Because of Starlight Road, roll 1 Stardust. Soul of Silver Mountain is really good. You don't necessarily make it with this deck unless I mean, you really don't make it with this deck, but unless you card Trooper Trag, which is always fun. But even then, you can't do it. So I guess Monster Reborn Trooper called on to Trooper, so I guess that's not bad. It's still a good card. There's no reason not to put it in there. You got space. Leviathan. I mean, not Leviathan, I'm sorry. Livier, I'm all messed up. I'm still sick, I'm sorry. But you guys all know what he does. Really good card. I played double Utopia. Only for the sole purpose that I don't have 2 Dijin, or 2 Maestro. But Utopia is still fun. Still a great card if you really wanted to throw in the Chaos. If you just had a Chaos Sorcerer, you want another boss monster like BLS Chaos Sorcerer. I mean, it's good to go in the extra deck, so when it dies, him plus Tragodia equals, you know, blah, 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 yakety schmacky. Marogeist, if you don't have one, you need to pick it up now, because I feel like that card's going to go up. It's really good. People really underestimate it. They go for that Pro Sangan play that they really need, and you don't let it go to the graveyard. You put it back in the deck. It really hurts them. It hurts a lot of decks. So, you should really check that out. Fairy King, I feel is really good. You can attack and go all out with all your monsters and be afraid of Gores if you want to. But as long as you keep your 2 level 4s on the field after you're done attacking, you special summon him, uses effect. Now Gores is too weak, and Gores can only ram. Actually, Gores is too weak for him himself, and as well as the token, whatever it was, is no longer a threat, well, as much of a threat as it was before. So he's a really good card. I play one Dijin. If I only have 1, I would run 2 otherwise. I mean, level 4 is means, which is not bad at all. 1 Gem Knight, that would be another Maestro. I'd probably stick to 2 Utopias, because 2600 is really not that needed when you've got non-stop fortresses, so it's good times. Photon Papillo Operative. All you Yugi tubers out there, it's ridiculous that you still don't know how to pronounce this card. Please stop acting like it's that hard. You guys can all read. Let's be real. So, still, Butterfly Assassin, an amazing card. One Chimera Tech, of course, because, you know, the mirror match, etc., etc. Maybe you just want to go all off and do your thing with the extra deck. Say if you side in your Cyber Dragon, you just want to go in. It's always a fun card. For some money, well, this isn't a money card anymore, so you can put this in here. And a Shockmaster. Shockmaster is really good. You all know what he does. I need a Violon de Sigma, I guess that's what it's called, or whatever it is. The one that's like Thousand Eyes Restrict / Catastor, takes a monster and then attacks, and if it's the same attribute, it dies. They're both really good, and they're both really situational. So it's always a fun card to use. Just having it at your side is always fun. 2 money cards, if you choose to put into the extra deck, they're kind of like, you know, you have to have them. If you don't, that's fine, but it's always better to have that utility. As 1 Steelstorm Roach, still completely destroys the, what are they called? Those dragons. They offer each other off with the hieratics. That's what they are. They have to find a way around the Roach. Like, if they don't find a way, they're kind of boned. And Gigant, you all know what he does. He's the money card right now. Really good. I picked one up. It's not that bad. It's a great card. I don't see it needed at 2, but playing 1 is you can still play the deck at 1. For side deck, I tried to keep the side as budget as possible, so you can have fun with it. I played 2 Weisel. Most people don't want to attack your fortress, so they'll try to dark hole it, or they'll save their not MSTs, but they'll save their other cards, like they'll start siding in Smashing Grounds or other options to get rid of them, Raikos, etc. They drop him, he comes out, you start negating spells, so 25 beater, you really can't beat it. And he's dark again, so once again, if you want to throw the chaos in there, you can. 2 Kaiku, kills the mirror match, attack over a gadget, and then remove 2 from the graveyard, which is always fun. Still a great card since forever. I'm thinking about taking this card out, 2 Snowman Eater, because of this deck. When I play against it and they attack a Snowman Eater, I target the fortress, and you know it happens, but you really don't have a choice. But other than against other machine decks, it's still a good card. Side in 1 Grand Mole. It's always fun. Once again, exceeds are cards. They're everywhere. So are Synchros. Any way you can get rid of them without destroying them is great. So, side 2 Veilers. For those decks that are out there, there's rogue decks out there who really rely on their monster effects. And if you can stop the one monster, you stop it all. So that's always fun. One Jinzo, still a machine, still a beast. Yeah, you run a bunch of traps, but you also play Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted, he brings him back. The MST, the Call the Haunted. A lot of noobs will try to do it, or people will try to get over on you thinking that you don't know your rulings. Jinzo negates the Call the Haunted, he stays on the field. 24 beater, that hurts both people. But 9 times out of 10, you're just going to recycle your monsters anyway, so having that freedom is always fun. Plus Chain Burn, give it a finger. You saw the Chimera tech earlier, so I played 2 Cyber Dragon. If anybody has an ulti Cyber Dragon from the original set, first ed, I'll trade you up the butt for it. It's really expensive, but I like them. I found the super first ed, and I was in love immediately. But yeah, it's always a great card. Play with Mind Control. You play so many level 4s. If they have once again, if they rely on Thunder King, if their deck is like a stun deck, you want to mind control the monster that's hurting you, take it over, exceed. You play Utopia. I invest, you get a Chaos Utopia. I don't have one, but it's always good to use because you can mind control Utopia. A lot of people are starting to go back into him whenever they try to end their turn with their exceeds, so you can always take it and drop over. It's always fun. One Chalice, like I told you, I'm kind of trying this out. This along with Lance, it's kind of like switching out the 2 of them. If I don't feel that Veiler is good to put in, I'll throw in the Chalice instead. Still a good card, still helps out, boost up your monsters, etc., etc. Or, their monsters as well. My favorite trap card forever, Phoenix Wing Blast. If you play gadgets, I don't see a reason for you not to use this. If you don't have the Fortress in hand or Graveyard, you got that dead gadget in hand, why not pitch it? Just make them start fresh. When your opponent's top deck and they've only got one answer, you put that one answer back. That's it. Like, you try again next turn, homie. You know what I mean? If they have a Fortress on the field and nothing on the field, you bounce the Fortress to the top of the deck. Now they have to wait. They have to draw the card. They have to draw their next turn, pass, and then pray they draw a monster so they can bring them back out. Otherwise, they're kind of assed out. But yeah, that's the budget deck for the week. You guys have fun out there. I'll let you later.